Okay, how you doing today? This is Mr. Massaroni. I'm going to be going over the homework, pages 29 and 30. Right now I'm going to focus on 29. And what we're looking at, we have our little shape here. Given BD is perpendicular to AB, BD is also perpendicular to DE, and BC is congruent to DC. Excuse me. We want to prove that angle A is congruent to angle E. So we're looking at A here and E here. So we're going to have to show these triangles are congruent. So my thought, they've already labeled it. They've got our angles, our side. Right here, I'm actually going to label these angle 1 and angle 2 because they are vertical angles. Okay? So that's one of my thoughts. I have vertical angles. The vertical angles are going to give me angle, side, angle, and then from there I'm going to have to use congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent as my last step. Okay, but let's walk ourselves through this proof to get those triangles congruent. As you can see, I've put the given down. Okay, now what I'm also going to state, I'm going to work on those right angles first. I'm going to say angles B and angle D are right angles. You're going to see me use a lot of abbreviations to try to get this in. And two perpendicular lines form right angles. Okay? Now, what do we know about right angles? Well, we know that all right angles are congruent. So we can say angle B is congruent to angle D. All right angles are congruent. Okay, and then what I've done here, I showed you, I marked them angle 1 and angle 2. They are vertical angles, so I can say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And again, angle 1 is also ACB and angle 2 is ECD. You can use that lettering also. And we know that vertical angles are congruent. Am I getting all that in there? Yep, just squeezing it in. So now we have the triangles are congruent. We've got our angle, side angle. So I can say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC. And the reasoning for that is angle, side angle. Now, because those triangles are congruent, angle A is congruent to angle E, and you need to put congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. CPCTC. Okay? That's question 1. Now I'm going to move on down to question 2. And let's see what they've given us. They've given us BC is congruent to CD. AC is congruent to EC, and they want us to show these triangles. Now I've got the sides. If you look again, the angles here, and I'm going to label them 1 and 2, we've got vertical angles again. Vertical angles. Okay, and we're going to be able to use side angle, side, I hope. Shouldn't be a problem. We've got our given. Number 2, we can just say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And again, oh, check that, 2. I'm going to erase that for you. I commonly make that mistake. Please make sure you don't make that mistake. Vertical angles are, slide this over a little for you, congruent. Okay, and now we've got everything we need. We've got side angle, side. This was a quick and easy proof. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC, and that's side angle, side. All right, and now the last one, number 3. Okay, given YA is congruent to AB, and angle B is congruent to angle Y. Again, we've got angle, side, and then I'm going to look in here. We've got vertical angles again. That seems to be a common theme. and I'll put a 1 here and a 2 here. Okay, so we'll be able to do side, angle, side. Check that, angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. Okay, we're looking to prove that AZ is congruent to AC. So we're going to be using that congruent parts piece again. All right, so number 2, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and that's because we know vertical angles are congruent. Now we have our congruent triangles. AYZ is congruent to triangle ABC, and that's angle, side, angle. So now if the triangles are congruent, we can go back and say that the parts are congruent. So AZ is congruent to AC, and that is CPCTC. Okay? And that wraps up page 29 for you.